This is the 2025 Honda Pilot Elite. Is this the trim level that has more than enough? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm at Holmes Honda to give you the particulars on this model. If you want to know about this vehicle and maybe buy a mid-size 3-row SUV and you're trying to make a decision, well, this video will definitely help you out with that. There's a link in the description of the video as always. If you want to know more, that link will take you right to this model as long as it's in inventory at Holmes Honda on their website. As far as the lighting goes, that flickering effect, well, it shows what's LED and what isn't, and it shows that my camera is the reason for the flickering effect. It's not really happening. These cameras just don't like LED lighting. LED daytime running lights will also have LED fog lights, and safety-wise, you're going to have front and rear parking sensors, Honda Sensing, which includes adaptive cruise control, road departure mitigation, collision mitigation, lane keeping assist, and traffic jam assist. This model is all-wheel drive, and while we're not going to call that a safety feature, it can be a factor in staying safe on the road, whether it's raining or if you're dealing with snow and ice, depending on where you live, something we rarely deal with here in Northwest Louisiana, but all-wheel drive is always a benefit where that kind of thing is concerned. 255 will be the width on our tires, a 50 series sidewall wrapped around the 20-inch wheels. And as far as your remote goes, there's what you have, including a remote start. You can lock and unlock. There's your panic button, and open and close the power tailgate. There are a number of ways to operate that tailgate that I'll show you later in the video. Body color on your mirror caps, turn signal indicators built in, heated and power adjustable. In addition to power folding side view mirrors, there is your blind spot information system. You will also notice the cameras down there. Now, if you haven't looked at a Pilot for the last couple of years, there are more cameras on the Pilot than there have ever been in the past. In fact, than there are on any other Honda model at this particular moment, at least that I can get my hands on. You also have a heated windshield and rain sensing windshield wipers. By the way, that remote is a proximity key. It has the walk-away feature, so those things that you're after, well, they're all there. And I mentioned that these are power folding side view mirrors. There they are in action, and that's not the only way you can do that. There's also a button here on the interior, and when you push this button right here, that will also fold these mirrors in. Now, the one thing about that is that the ignition has to be on for that button to work, but you can fold and unfold those mirrors by simply pushing lock or unlock on your remote. If you're looking at this generation of the Pilot for the first time, since it's full redesign for the 2023 model year, you might be a little surprised at what's under the hood. It's no longer the VTEC V6. It's still a 3.5 liter V6, but it's now a dual overhead cam version. It makes 285 horsepower, which is only a 5 horsepower increase. 262 on the torque, that remains the same, and it's now mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And let's take a look at your MPGs, or at least estimated on the sticker. 19 city, 25 highway, 21 combined, and 4.8 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. If you're curious to know, this model has an 18.5 gallon gas tank. When you go all-wheel drive with the Pilot, you can tow up to 5,000 pounds. If you happen to go front-wheel drive, you will be able to tow 3,500 pounds. And this is a power tailgate. It is hands-free. As you can see, I just kicked my foot under the bumper right there. That way we can open the power tailgate. Now, there is a way, if you come back here and that doesn't work for you, you can go into the infotainment screen and make sure that that feature is actually turned on. And we're looking at 18.6 up to 48.5 up to 87 cubic feet of cargo capacity. So depending on your situation, you can lower just the rear seats. You can leave them up in their upright position. Sometimes it's a little hard to do one-handed. And you can also lower the middle seats. And there is how things look with the seats all lowered down, everything maximized. And back here for the third row passengers, there is a USB port, air conditioning vents, and a couple of cup holders. And obviously you'll have everything on the other side as well, hence me saying air conditioning vents. Before anybody says, there's only one vent there, you said vents. I could hear someone saying that in the comments before they actually write it out. A little bit of storage right here. There's also some storage over on this side, a little bit deeper. A 12-volt power outlet right there. and underneath the floor, there is storage. Now you'll notice this area looks interesting here. It looks almost like it's meant to have something there. Well, it is. And it's the middle seat right there in the middle row because it is removable. Now, all 3 seats are not removable in the respect of the way you can do that with the Honda Odyssey. So, just in case you're curious, that's how it works. And there's one more thing concerning this rear door that I wanted to show you, and it has to do with this button right here. I'm going to push that, and you'll notice that it illuminates, and you heard a beep. So what exactly is that? That's called the walk-away feature. If you're standing here and you just want to gather everything up that you have to take in the house or whatever you're doing, and you want the door to close by itself without you having to do anything, you push that button, and you'll notice I've stood here for quite a while now, probably upwards of 10 or so seconds maybe. Now I'm going to walk away. I haven't done anything else, hence why it's known as the walk-away feature. The door will stay open until you move out from under it. And let's talk about what your middle row passengers are going to find. A comfortable armrest, that's for sure. You have a black interior here. You have upper and lower door bins. The upper door bin has a couple of different cup holders here. You'll also find the privacy shade right here. There's going to be one on each door, so not just here on the driver's side door here in the back seat area, but also on the passenger side over there. Now you'll notice that I've staggered the seats here because I wanted you to see that the outboard seats here move back and forth. So there is an easy way to increase leg space for rear seat passengers. To gain access to the third row, push the button right there. The seat will get up and out of the way. Sometimes you might have to push that a little bit further just to get it all the way out of the way. And then you can get back here into this third row area. Now, when the seats are up all the way, there's quite a bit of space. I don't know how realistic that is for someone to sit up there and have the seat be that far up. Here's what happens when the seats are all the way back. Now, leg space wise, I actually have a lot of space. My feet are very close together. If this seat were moved and stowed away in the back where I showed you can do that, well, that would help a little bit where that is concerned. There is room back here for adults. I do have quite a bit of head space. I'll show you that right there. There's a lot of head space there. But I would say most adults are going to want to sit in the second row or they're in the front row. Just depends on the situation. Also some tie down points here as well. You can see those. There's a few around here in this rear area. And right now I have the shade drawn forward, but you also have a panoramic sunroof. As of 2023, that is the only option for the Pilot if you go with a sunroof. It's not conventional size anymore, so you can either go with a sunroof or you can go without one, but the panoramic option is the only one available. And what do third row passengers do if the middle row passengers don't let them out? Well, they can let themselves out by pushing that button. And there is a look at the panoramic sunroof. That front portion up there does tilt and slide open. Nothing unusual where that's concerned. And with these rear seat pockets, not only do you have the typical seat pocket, but you also have this pocket up on the higher portion of the rear of the seat, and the lower seat pocket, more of a traditional spot. And right here within that area is a cell phone holder. So you can stick your cell phone down there. That makes things nice and convenient. Now here is the center console section for your middle seat passengers. Snacks can go here. Obviously a couple of bottles right here. No big deal. Really not meant to be used as an armrest. It's just too low for that. But you do have controls here for everything to do with the air conditioning, fan speed. You can set it on auto. You can turn the heated seats, these outboard seats, on and off. And you also have a power outlet right there, as well as a couple of USB ports. And what about the sticker price? I know a lot of people want to know about that. $54,330 at Holmes Honda to take it home. Space right here above the glove box. I would like to see maybe a wireless charging pad added right there, maybe a USB or two. That would be helpful as well. Here's your glove box. Nothing unusual or out of the ordinary where that is concerned. And over here on the driver's side door, we're going to have our controls for all of the windows. We have one touch up and one touch down, or should I say one touch down and one touch up. Let's go in order there. At all four corners, Everything else here you're used to seeing. And right here, that button I told you about earlier, now that the ignition is on, I can push that button and fold or unfold the mirrors. You can control the power tailgate right here, also traction control. The control right here, you can drop that, or should I say lever, drop that, and you can adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. It's also heated. There's a lot of heated things in this model. We're too hot this time of year to worry about that, but that is what's here. Here are your steering wheel mounted controls. You can control everything for your cruise control over here. And then on this side, you can go through a lot of different information with the scroll wheel. You can do the same thing on the other side over here on the right-hand side. In fact, you can even adjust the position, the brightness, and the information on the head-up display up there. Yes, there is a head-up display. And watch this. See the likeness of the Pilot right there? So you can turn on the lights and see that those are on. When the brake lights come on, you can also see those come on down there as well. Just something interesting that I thought you might want to see. Obviously, you control the lights, exterior lights, headlights, fog lights, all that right here on the turn signal stalk or the blinker stalk that you also need to use when you're driving down the road to let people around you know what you are doing. And windshield wipers controlled for front and rear right here on the lever for your windshield wipers, all that good stuff. Now there is one extra thing here that you won't find on any trim level except for the Elite and the Trail Sport. And this button, what happens when you push that button? Well, you get all of your different camera views. Remember, I told you there are camera views all around this model. So you have your overhead view right there. You also have your different views from front and rear, your side view mirror cameras, and obviously you have your backup camera as well. Now there is one more thing here I wanted to show you, is that there is a front camera washer. And every time you run the windshield washer fluid, that front camera washer is going to spray windshield washer fluid across the front camera. Now the one thing that I know a lot of people have expressed their dislike on where the Honda Pilot is concerned has been the 9-inch touchscreen, saying it's just not big enough. I guess we'll have to wait and see what comes of that in the future. Honda reads your comments, so tell Honda what you want to see. How big of a screen would you like to see available for the Pilot? Built-in navigation is here. I know that's a favorite for a lot of people, but obviously you don't have to use the built-in navigation. You can wirelessly pair your smartphone, and you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. I already have my phone paired. There's my map right there if I wanted to take advantage of that. So all of those great features are there. And let's go into vehicle settings. Here is what I was telling you about earlier. So if we go back here to power tailgate setup, if your power tailgate is not opening, there's your hands-free function. It's probably just set to off. You just need to change it to on. So now you know how to do that. Very simple, easy to deal with. Dual zone climate control. We don't need heated seats. We won't need those again until probably November of this year. In 2024, we will need this. Ventilated seats. Thank you, Honda, for the ventilated seats. That's a good thing when we're getting into the warmer time of the year. Wireless charging right here. I would love to see Honda add a second wireless charger. Tell me what you think about that. There's room for one. Why not add it? I did say we could have one up there as well, but it's probably more convenient right here. I don't know, but whatever the case is, you have that. You can turn that on or off depending on what you need to do. You also have your 12-volt power outlet right there and the USB ports also. There's your push button shifter. You also have your power parking brake, brake hold mode. You can turn on or off the auto stop start feature, and you also have multiple driving modes. So let's see what we have here. We have Econ, we have Snow, that will help out with that all-wheel drive, working to get you around in the snow. Trail, you also have Sand, and we're gonna have Tow. Now let me show you something here. Go up here real fast here. Here's what happens when we go into trail mode. Your camera comes on right there so you can see what's going on around the vehicle. And that can be helpful in a multitude of ways, not just with trail mode or when you're out on a trail or somewhere off-road or whatever the case is, but maybe somewhere in a parking lot where people didn't do a very good job of parking, or maybe you didn't do a very good job of parking. Sometimes I do that too, so don't feel too bad about it if you're that person. And we'll get out on the road for a test drive here with the Pilot Elite. A good comfortable ride quality. It seems to soak up the bumps decently well. And with all those different driving modes, anything that you can realistically tackle with the Pilot should be no problem. And I say realistically because obviously, well, it's not a Jeep, so you're not going to be able to do as much, although you do have some capabilities to do some, we'll say, light off-roading. So all of that is here, but like I said earlier in the video, you have all-wheel drive to benefit in so many different ways, not only in driving on snow or sand or whatever you're dealing with, but also just if it starts to rain and the roads are a little slick. Maybe you're on a freshly paved road, and those freshly paved roads with asphalt, well, there tends to be oil that comes up, and that can be an interesting thing to deal with. It helps you to maintain traction in every situation possible, as long as you're not driving beyond the limitations of the Pilot and pretending to autocross. Autocrossing with the Pilot. Now, if you could win an autocross event with your Pilot, I'd put a Vehicle Visionary sticker on the side of your vehicle and sponsor you. That would be impressive. But it's a fun vehicle to drive. It gets the job done. It definitely takes care of everything that you need it to take care of. Plenty of room. Plenty of room. I definitely do not feel any lack of space whatsoever. Plenty of head space, plenty of room all around me. Lots of space, especially for your first and second row passengers. Now, when it comes to the third row, yeah, I have to admit, it's a little cramped back there. Not terribly, but a little bit. As I mentioned earlier, you know what I said about it's better to maybe sit in the second row or up here in the front, depending on who you are, how tall you are, how comfortable you are being really close to other people. So there's a lot of things that can go on with that, well, we'll make that determination. So depending on what you have to deal with, well, you can make your decision on that. Now, we're about to witness something interesting. Some people having a conversation up here, I guess, in the middle of the road. Yep, that's what they're doing, all right. And then the Mustang here is about to pull right out in front of me. Congratulations on being a champion driver. Wow. It would have been interesting to get that on video, but thankfully I didn't because, well, we just don't need to have an accident. Since I'm a defensive driver, well, we don't have those problems. And maybe it's a good thing that that Mustang is in front of me instead of behind me, judging by the capabilities of that driver. Okay, sorry, distracted by a bad driver. If you want to learn to be a defensive driver, just come right on down here to Shreveport, Louisiana, and drive around for a while. It won't take long. Technology here is simplistic. I like that. You have really the latest from Honda where the Pilot is concerned. I know that, like I said earlier in the video, a lot of people say this 9-inch touchscreen is too small. Well, whether you think it's too small or not, I can guarantee you that it is not difficult to use. That's for sure. Overall, everything here is easy to deal with, easy to learn as far as your safety features go. I know there's a lot of people out there that say, there's just too much there. I want a more simplistic vehicle. Well, keep this in mind. You will find yourself using a lot more than you think once you learn about the vehicle, and you're in the right place to do that, right here on YouTube, where you don't have to worry about any time limitations or anything like that. You can just go ahead and learn and re-watch things as much as you need to. And by the way, there is plenty of power here if you need to get around slower moving vehicles with distracted drivers behind the wheel. A very well-rounded vehicle. Okay, tell me what you think about the 2025 Honda Pilot Elite. Is this the trim level that has more than enough? Curious to know what your thoughts are. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends at Holmes Honda for loaning me this Pilot for the day, and a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. That way you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.